Hi. It's been a while. Soleil here, and I haven't been doing anything creative for a long time. And today I woke up and I thought, why am I making excuses? Because I love being creative. And then I thought, well, what am I afraid of? I had all these excuses. I don't have a studio. I don't have my things. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then I don't know. I don't know why I woke up this morning just thinking, oh, what a bunch of rubbish. Just do it. Just get in there and have fun and remember the joy. The joy, how much you love doing this and how much joy it brings you. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about joy and the joy of being creative, and how being creative is kind of like a muscle, and we're all born with a great sense of creativity. We have no problem. I don't know if you can remember being two, but I do. All you need is a tiny bit of mud and a teaspoon, and you have a whole cafe, you've got everything going, and then it's not a cafe anymore, it's a construction site, and it just flows. And somehow our education and I don't mean this as any disrespect to any teachers, because I was the teacher for a good long time. I don't know what happens, but we tend to sort of squelch the creativity out of our children, and people stop being creative. They start getting afraid and they start making excuses, like I've been doing for the last couple months. And then it gets harder and harder, and then they say, well, I'm not any good at drawing, I'm not any good at singing, I can't dance, I have 10 left feet. And so I thought about that today too. I thought, well, why do we have to be good at it? It doesn't matter. It can give us joy, and we can be rubbish. It can be rubbish. And then I thought, well, actually, who's the judge of what's rubbish? I mean, I don't know. I don't think there is such a thing as rubbish. You might not like it. That's okay. If you don't like it, I'll show you some things we can do when we don't like it. And actually, one of my favorite things is when I start a painting and I hate it. I really hate it. It's just like mud, and nothing I do makes it any better. But you know what's crazy and wonderful about that? When I hate it, I'm not afraid of wrecking it. And it allows me to just throw things at it, to be curious about it, to explore, to completely let go of worry and outcome. So today, while we're exploring this thought of joy and what brings you joy, I want you to just let go of outcome. Just throw it away in the rubbish. Have this idea of anything being rubbish, put it in the rubbish, and let's start working our creativity muscles, because the more you do it and the more you approach everything with this curiosity of a 2-year-old, the easier it's going to become. So today I have a little bit of cooking oil in here, a paintbrush. Ooh, I found this on the road today. I mean, it doesn't, the color isn't so great there, but look how beautiful it is. I just saw it, and I'm going to figure out if there's something I can do with it, because it's just a piece of art on its own. I actually don't have to do anything. I could just put it in a frame, and I would love it, because there's something about something with a patina that is just wonderful. So anyway, I thought I'd share with you what I found on the road this morning. It's great. It's amazing what you can find. All right, so let's get started. I'm working with oil pastels right now because, here I'm making excuse again, I don't have my studio, but I'm going to stop with excuses. I have all my paints down there, and I'm just going to make this little corner here and this table my mess. And I'm not going to worry about not having a studio anymore. One excuse gone. Okay, so today I'm feeling like this color, because this is a joyful color to me, this kind of light tealy blue. Now what's another joyful color? This is a thing. I really encourage you to talk to yourself and to talk to your colors, and try and listen and see what they say to you, because they each have a story. and we each have our own relationship with a color. We might have a unpleasant memory associated with some, we might have happy memories with others. But you know, to me, these colors look joyful. This nice yellow, this nice teal kind of speaks to me of joyfulness, this kind of creamy color. They're all joyful colors. Now, here in Argentina, it is autumn, so these are kind of springy colors, but maybe I'll trade this one and try and bring something still joyful. Well, this orange is kind of joyful. Orange is a tricky color for me. It doesn't, you know, my relationship with orange is a little bit, but anyway, I'm gonna add it in. And then maybe I'm gonna choose a neutral. So I don't know, I have a light gray, which could be an option if I wanna have something neutral. I have a tan, well, that might be okay. I have a reddy brown. Well, why don't I go with reddy brown and maybe the tan, just to have, and then we always need our friend white, because you just seem to use a lot of it. So here we go, this is my handful of colors. And I'm just gonna start playing. So, you know, here you go. You can just do this along with me. Grab your paper, and you know, you can do this with acrylic paints too, but let's just do this with the oil pastels for now. Chalk pastels work too, if that's what you have. I just also encourage you to use what you have, so there's no excuse for not doing it. And you know what? If you only have tea and coffee, we'll do something with that next time. All right, here we go. I'm going to start with this one because this is what makes me most happy. You know, and when I'm drawing, I'm not really, no, I'm not thinking about anything else. I just love the way these feel so buttery in it. It does. It gives me a really big sense of joy. I enjoy it. And, you know, I like to ask myself, what does joy feel like? What does that mean, joy? It's different than being happy. And, I don't know, here we go. I don't know, joy feels like a 2-year-old looks when they're engaged in something. Joy feels kind of right here, like an expanding, and it feels like bright eyes. Okay, I'm going to bring some white in here. So maybe you notice I don't have a plan. I don't have an objective right now. I really am just playing. Just playing. I don't have an idea. I don't want to do a tree or a building or a person or a horse. I'm just enjoying playing. I'm going to bring some yellow in and see. Ooh, that makes kind of a nice green. So, okay, so here we go. Ooh. Now, the yellow on its own, I have to admit, it kind of doesn't feel very joyful to me. It feels a bit, I don't know, it gives me a little bit of, ooh, kind of feeling. I don't know what that feeling is, but I don't really like it. So I'm going to come over and whew, just kind of warm it up. That yellow is just screaming a little bit too much at me. I wasn't very happy with it. So, but, okay. Now I've made sort of a little muck there. And I'm going to put my paintbrush in this oil. And I'm just going to see what happens. I don't know. I mean, I will admit I have done this before, so I do kind of know, but you see what it does? It kind of spreads it out. Kind of soaks into the paper too, makes your paper kind of funny. I can drag some of the color. And see, still I'm just playing. So I want you to just go along with me here at home, in your kitchen, any little spot you can find, and just play away. Oh, just really like it. Okay. I'm gonna sort of walk over to this side now because I can't really see it from a different point of view. And then the other thing that's really important to do is go and stand far away so that you can see it from a distance, because some things look pretty terrible up close, and then you go and stand away and you've got something quite lovely. So if you ever get a chance to go to an art gallery and take a look at some of Van Gogh or Monet or any of those impressionists, you know, if you get really right up close, it kind of just looks like a big mess, really, honestly. It's when you step back, it starts to come alive, and suddenly you notice, wow, there's something there. There's a picture, and you step a little bit further back, and there it is. Beautiful starry night, or haystack, or people dancing. But when you're right up close, a lot of the time, it just looks kind of scribbly like this. Okay, so here we go. I've created a little bit of a greeny yellow mix. It's kind of springy. Alright, so what do we want to do now? What do we want to do now? Here's where we're just going to start being brave, because, you know, we have something that's kind of nice, you know. You can see it there, and I kind of like what's going on. So here's where we've got to be brave, because when you like it at this stage, it's not finished, and you kind of get afraid of wrecking it. But that's when you can grab courage and just say, doesn't matter, I really don't mind if this is awful, because I'll just throw it away if it's awful, or I'm going to rip it up and use it for something else if it's awful. So I don't know, I'm going to come in, and there's already some light bits here, so I'm just going to maybe create a little bit more shape in those light bits. And again, I'm just playing. I don't have something in mind. Just bring some white in, see what happens. Bring some white in. Oh, I should have brought something like a spoon or something to scratch. I can use the other end of the paintbrush. So I'll just bring some white in. You know, so one of the things when you are working with a piece is you want to have this sort of sense of a little bit of balance. And balance does not mean symmetry. It just means, you know, when you have a scale and you've got a watermelon on one side, and on the other side you have to have 2 oranges and a grapefruit and 3 cherries, and that creates a balance, right? It doesn't have to be 2 watermelons on both sides. And the other thing we want to have is we want to have some contrast, because right now everything's pretty light. We've got a little dark area there. So let's see what happens if we bring this reddy brown in. Oh, no. Not really grooving with the color too much, but that's okay. So, you know, when I ask myself, what would it feel like to be joyful? What would it feel like to wake up and feel alive and feel joyful? I don't think it would feel like this picture right now, because it's looking a little bit headachy right now to me. It's not saying joy so much as headache, but that's okay. You know, and the thing about asking yourself a question is you don't have to answer it. You can just let it sit there and percolate, and maybe you're going to come up with an answer that would make you feel joyful. Ooh, my gosh. Okay. So, here we go. Right. So now we've got a bit of a thing going on here. Now what happens if we try with this thing that I've got going here to bring like a little bit of some sort of form into it? I don't know. Let's see what happens. And here again, you know what? There's no one. I've got autumn trees, and I know that most of my friends who may watch this, we're having into spring right now, so an autumn tree is maybe not what you want to see. We've had kind of a tough winter. And again, I don't know, does it have to really be a tree? Can I just have how the feeling of the tree is for me? There's a tree. And here we go. I can feel it inside myself, this pressure that this has to be good. Oh my God, I'm making a video and it better be good. Well, no, Soleil, it does not need to be good. You just need to have some fun. Have some fun and actually struggle through the times when it looks awful. Struggle through it when you want to give up and you want to throw it away, and just see if by sticking with it, you can get something in the end that's, magnificent. But wow, it's really hard. It's really, really hard not to have that voice come up that says, God, that's awful. You should be embarrassed about doing that. And you know what, I've been an artist a long time. And, of course, I only put the nice things. I only post the nice things on Instagram or Facebook. I don't post the experimental pieces of rubbish that get created on the off days. So, but those creative pieces of rubbish are really important too, they are fun and you can learn a lot. So here, I'm going to turn it around so I can have a different perspective. Okay, I think what I might do, well, I don't really like using black, so I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use this dark blue. I try not to use black. It is a really useful tool, black, so I'm not dead set against it, but if you can create something that looks like black without using black, I encourage you to do that instead. But that's not to say that black isn't really super helpful, especially when things are not going your way. Wow, it's great to come in with some black and just bomb away, just get rid of it a whole bunch, because that's a fun process too, is to edit out, just say, oh, what places are looking good and what places do I want to keep, and what happens if I just cover up the rest. So what happens now, if I just use this, oh, I can do these little lines, kind of neat. So, well, you can see my first day back at being creative was a little wobbly. No. So what is going on here? Oof. Oof. I just don't know what to say about this piece. I gotta come to stand over here a little bit and see what's happening. Okay, it's not a complete write-off. Not a complete, kind of a write-off, but not a complete write-off. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm not gonna do anything more. I'm just let it sit. And I'm gonna walk around my house, and I'm gonna cook something and bake something, and I'm just gonna glance at it every once in a while and see if something comes up. And I might turn it around again, like that, or I might turn it around like that, and just keep looking at it until something comes out, or nothing comes out. That's absolutely fine. So, anyway, I hope that today encourages you to just try and get those colors out and make a mess, because it's really fun. And it can be really enjoyable. And I just I just want people to experience what it's like to have the joy of creating, of being creative. All right, great, and thank you, and I'll see you again. Ciao, ciao.